ChatGPT can pull answers from anywhere, but sometimes that's the problem. What if your AI actually knew you, your notes, your research, and your favorite podcasts? Imagine chatting with a tool that learns from your own sources and never makes things up. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own personal research companion. So let's get started. Hello everyone, Scott Friesen here at Simpletivity, helping you to get more done and enjoy less stress. And here I am within my Recall account. Now at first glance, you may think that Recall is just a web clipper. Don't be fooled. It is so much more and so much better than that. Let me give you a quick example. Here I am, I've come across a podcast that has sparked my interest and I would like to learn from it, but it's almost 2 hours in length. I may not have time to listen to the entire podcast. I just want to see if there's anything that is great. Are there any great nuggets in here? Well, with the Recall browser extension, I can come up here, click on this icon, and what it will do is in just a few seconds, it will summarize the entire podcast. And not just summarize it, it gives it complete timestamps as well. So I can quickly and easily go to anywhere within the video. But the best thing is that I can save this to my Recall account. And yes, it's so much more than just a web clipper. Not only do I have a direct link to the video, I've got a complete transcript. I've got my notebook here, which gives me a great summary of what is happening here. And now, best of all, it lives within my space, within my notes. But wait, it gets even better, because probably one of the first things you're asking yourself is, well, how am I going to find this information later? How am I going to categorize it? Recall will automatically tag your content and put them into relevant categories. So for example, I haven't come up with any of these categories here. It correctly identified that this is under personal development, and under that I have a subcategory of finance. So I can quickly and easily find that finance content. Now, of course, I can edit this tag and I can add multiple tags if I want to as well. But this is not only a faster way of collecting information, it's such an easier way to categorize it. Let's take a look at one more quick example. You already saw me use the browser extension, but don't worry, you can take your own notes, upload your own PDFs and documents, or paste in other sources as well. Here within the Recall app, I can come up here and select Add Content, and we've got a variety of different ways in which we can add that content. URL we just saw a moment ago. We can add wiki sources. We can upload our own PDFs. We can import all of our bookmarks, for example, or if you use other web clippers such as Pocket, you can do that as well. Or you can just start with an empty note. Recall can become your primary note taker, not only so that you can make connections with your other sources, but so that you can chat with it as well. So let's jump into the chat feature. One of the biggest beefs that so many of us have is that tools like ChatGPT or Gemini hallucinate. They will make things up from time to time because they're pulling in sources and then sometimes manipulating and making up those sources along the way. But here within Recall, you can chat just with your knowledge base. So for example, I'm going to say, what are my top 5 Clifton strengths? I uploaded my Strength Finders result sometime last month. What are my top 5 Clifton strengths? Well, it's immediately going to go to those sources and say, perfect, Scott, here are your top 5 strengths. But here's where the real power is. How can I apply this to my spending habits? Okay, so why am I asking this? This seems like a very vague question, but I have a number of articles which I have grabbed, a number of videos, podcasts, and others that are related to personal finance and to budgeting. So what Recall is doing, it's not going out into the world and assuming that I want some very basic or very vanilla rules when it comes to spending or managing managing my budget, it is only using my sources. So it's taking my top 5 strengths, and it's even giving me references to certain podcasts. In this case, there's a particular podcast that I listen to, which is all about spending. It's applying that here. But I can even drill down further and be very specific in terms of what categories I may want it to reference. So for example, I'm going to say, how can I then apply this to my tech and apps? And what I'm going to do is use the @ symbol. Now, what this is going to do is going to bring up a number of my sources, but it's also going to bring up my tags. So for example, I've got a tag here under technology called productivity, where I have a number of technology and productivity hacks and tips in there. I'm going to use that as its source. I'm going to hit enter, and now it's only going to use the information that I have in there. So it's applying only the things that I've given it, and I can limit it to, again, certain tags or certain articles. But here it's going to even give me some great Google Calendar tips because, yes, Google Calendar is one of these sources, is one of the videos that I included in that particular area. So if you want to start chatting with your own trusted sources in your own self-organizing knowledge base, you're going to want to check out Recall. Go to getrecall.ai to get started for free. And use code SIMPLE25 for 25% off a premium subscription. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, being productive does not need to be difficult. In fact, it's very simple.